What does the 1111 energy want to awaken within you right now? So we are fast approaching the 1111 portal, and this is a very powerful gateway in numerology. It is associated with awakenings, soul contracts, alignments, and it certainly is a day of remembrance. So you might be feeling a call to remember who you truly are. So we're going to have a look at the energies coming through for you on this 1111 portal. For the viewer, please. What message? As I'm shuffling, to remind you that I do offer same-day readings and they are returned to you within 24 hours. I also have the 1111 channeled message, and they are both available. The link is in my bio. So what have we got with this 1111 portal? Bottom of the deck, we have got the Two of Wands. I love that card. We've got the Star, the Eight of Wands, the Tower, the Two of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Moon. Interesting, the Star and the Moon. As I look at the combination of these cards, it shows me that there is a clear shift from where you are to where you want to be. And I do believe it's happening faster than you think. So the Moon and the Two of Swords, they show that you might have felt really confused or uncertain about your next steps. But with the Star and the Nine of Cups that we have here, they say that your goals are within reach. And then the Eight of Wands and the Tower, they talk about rapid change or breakthrough coming. So whether this is a change in mindset or a relationship or a direction, there is a timeline shift, and I feel like it's quantum. So the Page of Swords also shows that you're learning to think and to see things differently, and you're not waiting anymore. There's a huge potential for alignment and stepping into the version of yourself that's been calling you forward. Let's begin with the Two of Wands. So this is one of my favorite cards within this deck. So we see a woman and she's holding what looks like a crystal ball. And you can see that she's fully absorbed in what she's seeing, or more accurately, what she is creating. So she's not just predicting the future, she is actively shaping it. So this card to me represents conscious manifestation. The moment when you realize that what you envision can become your reality. If you see the way that she is holding that crystal ball, it tells us something important. Clarity comes when you pause and focus. You can feel the intention of her gaze here. So this is you standing at the threshold of a new reality and choosing to create your version of heaven on earth. Now, crystals, I don't know if you're aware, but they are amplifiers. And the crystal ball here reminds us that your energy and that your thoughts and that your focus are magnified right now. So the universe is listening very closely and responding faster than ever. So be very intentional, be very clear, because this is the beginning of a powerful shift. I want to shift this into the Tower card, and this is a card that is often feared. It's deeply misunderstood. So yes, it does speak of change, and sometimes it's sudden and unexpected. But when we are manifesting, especially as quickly as the surrounding cards are suggesting, then it must involve a shift. So old structures, beliefs, dynamics that don't support the new version have to make way. So what I want to point out in this particular depiction, we can see that the storm is raging, we can see that the lightning has struck, and yet this tower, it still stands. So it's not crumbling. In a lot of traditional decks, you would see this crumbling. So this tells me something very important, that you've done the foundational work. Your foundation is strong. You've strengthened your inner structure so you can hold what you've been asking for. Now, the lightning bolt here, it's not capable of destroying this. it illuminates. So to me, when I'm seeing this, it feels like a divine download, a jolt of higher wisdom. And that's exactly what the energy of the 1111 is representing. It's this moment of insight that really shifts your perception on your soul path. So this is suggesting that there could be sudden clarity, there could be an inner knowing, there could even be an experience or external shakeup. And I would say if that happens, trust that it's not random, it's in alignment with what is happening for you. Now, we've talked a lot about speed, and one of the cards that is depicting this is the Eight of Wands that we're seeing here. So classically, this is a card that speaks about swift movement. It talks about divine timing, and it talks about messages on their way. And in this reading, it feels really amplified. So what's striking about this version of the card is that the arrows aren't all moving in the same direction. You've got arrows coming this way and you've got arrows coming this way. Now, this tells me that life might be coming at you from multiple angles right now. You are a multi-dimensional being, and you're gifted in more ways than one. So whether it's relationships or spiritual insights or creative visions, there are messages and downloads landing in every area of your life at once. And then I want to point out the deer right here. Can you see them all? So some of them are grazing and peaceful and seemingly completely unaware. But there's a couple that are completely alert. They almost remind me as if they would be kind of wide-eyed, almost frozen, like a deer in headlights. And I'm feeling that one of them might be representing you. The signs around you are impossible to ignore right now. So something has caught your soul's attention, and once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. So again, this is a moment that the 1111 often ushers in. There's this flash of realization and an unmistakable pull that says it's time and you cannot go back. Now, what the universe calls fast and what we call fast are quite often two entirely different things. But when it comes to this particular card, this specifically talks about something happening within either 8 days, 8 weeks, or 8 months. And what feels like it is unfolding right now, what all of these signs and shifts are pointing toward, I believe is depicted with these two cards here. Where are we? The Nine of Cups and the Star. So this is the dream. This is your dream. Now, in the Star card, this is what you've cried out for. So maybe in prayer, maybe when no one else could hear but the universe. Look at her posture in the card. See, she's reaching up with one hand, almost as if asking, can I have it? Is it really for me? And then the answer is this. The Nine of Cups, the card of emotional fulfillment, of wishes granted, of that moment where you suddenly realize that this is actually happening. So the two together are really powerful. You're not imagining it. This is not random. This is what you've planted the seeds for. This is what you've asked for. And now it's going to be arriving faster than you thought. So we also can see that when this comes in, you are going to be able to hold that energy. So hold that energy of believing in it even before it's fully showing up. You can feel it energetically around you. Adding in the Two of Swords and the Moon card here. So these two together actually tell quite a clear story. So the Two of Swords is a classic crossroads card. It's not just any decision. This is the kind of those moments that you're not meant to look with your physical eyes. You can see that her eyes are covered and her arms are crossed over her chest. So she's listening for something deeper, and that is her intuition. And then we have this Moon card. Now this is a card that speaks about mystery. It talks about the subconscious. It talks about hidden things. Not because they're wrong, but because not everything is meant to be exposed too early. So here's the message that I'm getting from this pairing, that you already know, that your intuition is loud and clear, but that doesn't mean that you have to announce it to the world yet. So there are some things that are best kept in the dark. So some things are too sacred to be shared before they're ready. So the moon reminds you that your future is not up for debate. The Two of Swords affirms the decision is already made in your heart, and you're just catching up to that in the physical. So it's telling you to trust what you know. These are both highly intuitive cards. And it's saying to protect what you are building until it is fully formed. Now, to explain this just a little bit further, have any of you ever had this dream or this wish or this goal, and then you've expressed it to somebody, and they have downplayed it, and immediately it felt like that bubble was burst, that you no longer wanted to do that thing? That's what I'm talking about. Now, the pages within tarot, they are the messengers. And it feels like this card is really important. It doesn't carry vague energy. This feels like something very specific, something tangible that's about to land. So it feels like an email that you've been waiting on, a contract, a visa, a job offer, some written message from someone significant. Whatever this is, it confirms what your intuition has already known, that something is coming through in the physical. So you may have felt this stirring for a while, and this card tells you that the news is on its way. And it might not just be about what's written, it's the acceptance behind it. So yes, there's a green light, there's an opportunity that you have earned. So the Page of Swords, in this particular instance, it feels like it's the arrival of clarity. It's a confirmation letter. So what I feel from these cards is that there is a shift in motion. There's a timeline jump toward what you've been envisioning. The Two of Wands shows you fully focused on the future, amplifying your intentions. The Tower signals fast, undeniable change. But this time you're steady. The foundations are strong. There's divine insight that is landing quickly with the Eight of Wands. The Moon and the Two of Swords suggest that you've known that this is coming, even when you've kept really quiet about this. So there's a message or there's an opportunity that you've been waiting for that arrives with the Page of Swords. Something tangible, something written, something confirmed, and it aligns with a long-held wish with that Star and the Nine of Cups. So this shows that your manifestation is near. So it's saying stay very open, stay very grounded, trust what's unfolding. We've noticed that the time frame for this with the Eight of Wands is something within 8 days, 8 weeks, or 8 months. So if you'd like to explore this timeline shift more deeply, then again, I remind you that same day readings and 1111 channeled messages are linked within my bio.